I was born in Italy. When I came over to England when I was 5 or 6, at first everybody said, well, he's having difficulties because he's foreign. Then slowly, as I slipped down to the bottom of the class continuously, and as I couldn't read and I couldn't get the cats sat on the mat, and I didn't really get it until I was about 12 at the whole idea of reading. And the same went therefore across everything. And my writing was basically illegible and I couldn't spell. People began to say, well, really you better stop doing education. But my mother really believed in me. And at that point, I was suicidal, I would say. I mean, I remember very much sort of thinking, well, this is hopeless. My life is over. And this is, 10 years old. And the concept that I might have some illness, which in a sense it is a form of illness, but you can get over this. I mean, you don't have to take medicines. You just do training. And you for it. Nobody thought of it until I was sent to the school, which had some intuitive feeling for people like myself, which gave me that confidence to move forward. And then I suddenly realized I was less backward than other people. That gave me great confidence in everything. And the fascinating thing is, in 1 year, I probably did sort of I'd caught up the 4 years that I'd dropped behind by that time. I probably had a learning ability of 7 when I was about sort of 11. And I actually probably did about 2 years ahead. And in fact, I then managed to squeeze into a public school. And I never did as well until I left it as I did in that one year at the school. And it was really something it gave. I mean, I met this teacher who said, go for it, hit the bloody ball, sit down and write and stop worrying about the fact that no one can read, just write, and things like that. And that gave me tremendous confidence. It was for me, in a way it was quite simple. And then there was continuous support from my parents, who just didn't think I was as stupid as I seemed. I think dyslexics have a way of looking at problems, actually, and turning them on their heads. And that's a very exciting way of doing things. In other words, someone comes to me and says, well, I want 3 bedrooms, kitchen, dining, living room, and my bedrooms are upstairs, because they're always upstairs, 2-story house, and living room downstairs. And one can say, but why? The views are up, the views from the second floor. So put the living room on the second floor. I'm making it very simple, but the concept is you don't accept the standard, because actually you don't really know what the standard is. Your dyslexia allows you to look at a broader element and forget what is normally done, and just turn it upside down. And I think that's very positive. It can be very positive. Well, first of all, the most important thing I think for people who are dyslexic is don't give up. Believe in yourself. Secondly, there are people out there who can help you. It's like anything else. Whatever your problem is, whether you're colorblind or whatever it is, there are ways in which you can cope. There are people who have now got tremendous experience. I mean, the whole of the world is trying to cope with the 10% of people who have some form of learning difficulties. But of course, if you're a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you just look around the room, and if you're the only one, you think, oh, what's wrong? There's something wrong with me. And after a while, you spiral down. I used to say my aim in life would be second from bottom instead of bottom of the class. That was my real aim in life for a long time, I have to say. And of course, that is extremely dispiriting every time you do it. And I'm a sort of worker by nature. And I'd work like hell, so I wasn't even lazy, which is dispiriting in itself. If one was enjoying this, doing something else would be better. And in the end, I did you do get things. For instance, I didn't believe people who said you can't do it. And probably that's the single thing. In the end, so many people said you can't do it, and I did some of those things. So I now know that forget it, I have to make my own decision with my own team, or with people who know about the sort of problems I have, or the problems I have to tackle. I think I have managed to turn things positively. And you can't do it all on your own. You have to have a support mechanism. Without a support mechanism, it's hopeless. But now we have one, so we need to use it.